Hello everyone, I'm Legacy Odalmo. I'm from MBAA 2021. For today, I'm going to discuss about the cloud computing. So now let's begin. As an introduction, cloud computing provides us by means by which we can access the application as utilities over the internet. It allows us to create, configure, and customize application online, which cloud computing user can access database resource by the internet from anywhere for as long as they need without worrying about any maintenance or management of actual resources. What is cloud? The term cloud refers to the network or internet. In other words, we can say that cloud is something which is present or remote location. Cloud can provide services over the network, IDES, on public network or on private network, IDS, on the wide area network or the WAN, and the local area network or the LAN, or VPN, the virtual private network. Most company uses this one just to avoid the hackers from getting the confidential or restricted data from their files. So applications such as email, web conferencing, customer relationship management or CRM are all run in clouds. So what is cloud computing? Cloud computing refers to manipulating, configuring, and accessing the application online. It offers online data storage, infrastructure, and application. Cloud computing is both combination of software and hardware based on computing resource delivered as a network services. So, all right, this is the visual representation of what is cloud computing architecture. Just to give you an idea of what this is. And now I'm going to share a video for you to just to share an idea of what is cloud computing.
Imagine you're the owner of a small software development firm and you want to scale your business up. However, a small team size, the unpredictability of demand, and limited resources are roadblocks for this expansion. That's when you hear about cloud computing. But before investing money into it, you decide to draw up the differences between on-premise and cloud-based computing to make a better decision. When it comes to scalability, you pay more for an on-premise setup and get lesser options too. Once you've scaled up, it is difficult to scale down and often leads to heavy losses in terms of infrastructure and maintenance costs. Cloud computing, on the other hand, allows you to pay only for how much you use, with much easier and faster provisions for scaling up or down. Next, let's talk about server storage. On-premise systems need a lot of space for their servers, notwithstanding the power and maintenance hassles that come with them. On the other hand, cloud computing solutions are offered by cloud service providers who manage and maintain the servers, saving you both money and space. Then we have data security. On-premise systems offer less data security, thanks to a complicated combination of physical and traditional IT security measures, whereas cloud computing systems offer much better security and lets you avoid having to constantly monitor and manage security protocols. In the event that a data loss does occur, the chance for data recovery with on-premise setups are very small. In contrast, cloud computing systems have robust disaster recovery measures in place to ensure faster and easier data recovery. Finally, we have maintenance. On-premises systems also require additional teams for hardware and software maintenance, loading up the costs by a considerable degree. Cloud computing systems, on the other hand, are maintained by the cloud service providers, reducing your costs and resource allocation substantially. So now, thinking that cloud computing is a better option, you decide to take a closer look at what exactly cloud computing is. Cloud computing refers to the delivery of on-demand computing services over the internet on a pay-as-you-go basis. In simpler words, rather than managing files and services on a local storage device, you'll be doing the same over the internet in a cost-efficient manner. Cloud computing has two types of models. deployment model, and service model. There are three types of deployment models: public, private, and hybrid cloud. Imagine you're traveling to work. You've got three options to choose from. 1. You have buses, which represent public clouds. In this case, the cloud infrastructure is available to the public over the internet. These are owned by cloud service providers. 2. Then you have the option of using your own car. This represents the private cloud. With the private cloud, the cloud infrastructure is exclusively operated by a single organization. This can be managed by the organization or a third party. And finally, you have the option to hail a cab. This represents the hybrid cloud. A hybrid cloud is a combination of the functionalities of both public and private clouds. Next, let's have a look at the service models. There are three major service models available: IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Compared to on-premise models, where you'll need to manage and maintain every component, including applications data, virtualization, and middleware, cloud computing service models are hassle-free. IaaS refers to infrastructure as a service. It is a cloud service model where users get access to basic computing infrastructure. They are commonly used by IT administrators. If your organization requires resources like storage or virtual machines, IaaS is the model for you. You only have to manage the data, runtime, middleware, applications, and the OS, while the rest is handled by the cloud providers. Next, we have PaaS. PaaS, or Platform as a Service, provides cloud platforms and runtime environments for developing, testing, and managing applications. This service model enables users to deploy applications without the need to acquire, manage, and maintain the related architecture. If your organization is in need of a platform for creating software applications, PaaS is the model for you. PaaS only requires you to handle the applications and the data. The rest of the components like runtime, middleware, operating systems, servers, storage, and others are handled by the cloud service providers. And finally, we have SaaS. SaaS, or Software as a Service, involves cloud services for hosting and managing your software applications. Software and hardware requirements are satisfied by the vendors, so you don't have to manage any of those aspects of the solution. If you'd rather not worry about the hassles of owning any IT equipment, the SaaS model would be the one to go with. With SaaS, the cloud service provider handles all components of the solution required by the organization. Time for a quiz now. In which of the following deployment models are you, as the business, responsible for the application, data,
All right. Now, since actually that video already tackled my next topic about the cloud computing, but first I'm going to discuss the basic concept. There are certain services and models working behind the scene, making the cloud computing feasible and accessible to end users. Following are the working models for cloud computing. There are two. The first one is the deployment models, and then the second one is the service models. Okay, first is deployment models. Deployment models define the type of access to the cloud. It is how the cloud is located. Cloud can have any of the four type of access, which is the public, private, hybrid, and community. Okay, so what is the meaning of the public cloud? The public clouds allow system and services to be easily accessible to the general public. Public cloud may be less secure because of its openness. Example is the email. And then the second one is the private cloud, allows the system and services to be accessible within an organization. It offers increased security because of its private nature. And then the community cloud allows system and services to be accessible by the group of organization. And then for the last one, I think this is one of the best options in cloud, the hybrid cloud, because you can use both. It's a mixture of public and private cloud. However, the critical activities are performed using a private cloud, while the non-critical activities are performed using the public cloud. Of course, in the organization or in a business, we have that what we call restricted and open to the public. So we need to make sure that the data you're going to share to the cloud storage is has a proper category if it categorized as high risk or low risk, or there's nothing to leak important information of the business. Just to avoid from the hacker, since it's online, it's very critical if the hacker going to get the important details or information of the company. Okay, next is the service models. Service models are the reference models on which the cloud computing is based. This can be categorized into three basic service models are listed below. Like in the video, we have the IaaS, ISaaS, the PaaS, and the SaaS. The first is the infrastructure as a service, and the second is platform as a service, or the PaaS, and then last is the software as a service. Okay, so let's discuss about the ISAS, the infrastructure as a service. Okay, ISAS is a delivery of technology infrastructure as on-demand, the scalable service. ISAS provides access to fundamental resources such as physical machine, machine, virtual storage, and etc. Usually built based on usage, so it's via subscription. And then usually multi-tenant visual environment can be coupled in managed service for OS and application support. And best example of this is the Upsort, Entity Communication, Grid, Blizzard. I think it's more on international application, if you're familiar with this one. And then the next one is the platform as a service, or the PaaS, provides the runtime environment for application development and deployment tools, etc. PaaS provides all the facilities required to support the complete life cycle of the building and delivering web application and services entirely from the internet. Okay, typically application must be developed with a particular platform in mind. Ito yung multi-tenant environment and the highly scalable multiplier architecture. And past example is the Amazon Web Service, Azure, and then Rackspace. Let's now proceed to the last one, which is the software as a service, or the SaaS. SaaS models allows to use software application as a service to end users. SaaS is a software delivery methodology that provides licensed multi-tenant access to software and its function remotely as a web-based services, usually built on based on usage like a subscription, same as in the ISAS, usually multi-tenant environment, highly scalable in architecture. And SaaS example is the NetSuite, Facebook, Google, and Salesforce.com. Do you use cloud? So that's the question. Of course, I think since we are now in the modern technology or the internet age, most of us use one of these, like the Twitter, the Pinterest, the LinkedIn. The most popular is the YouTube, Facebook, and Google Store, email, and so on. So those app uses cloud for their internal storage in the big data. So what is the advantage of cloud? Advantage is lower computer costs, improved performance, reduced software costs, instant software updates, improved document format compatibility, unlimited storage capacity, increased data reliability, universal document access, latest version availability, easier group collaboration, device independence. So that was the advantage of using the cloud. So the disadvantage of using the cloud is it requires a constant internet connection. Of course, you can connect to the it requires internet connection for you to update or get data, or make modification in your files, and then that's not work well with low speed connection, since most especially we are in the Philippines, the internet connection is not that fast compared to Korea or in Japan. So next is feature might be limited. Yeah, it depends of since environment, there is a level of piloting stage compared to there's a stages in changing the appearance of the website or um the use of the cloud, and then can be slow. Yes, sometimes can be slow due to internet or different factors to be considered. And then store data can be lost. Yeah, this is the bad thing happens. Sometimes your most important data can be lost and you can retrieve or possibly it was corrupted. And the next is the store data might not be secure. Yes, most especially your personal things. The hackers can easily hack those files since it was located. Everything you upload via online can be easily accessed to those well expert like the hackers. We don't want that. So as much as possible, um, though it's personal, don't upload too personal things on internet. If you want to try to research your name on Google and then try to check what are the photos or activities that you shared online can be seen there. Okay, so next, so cloud storage. Cloud storage, actually, this is that create an account username and password. This is just the step. Content lives with the account in the cloud. Log on to any computer with Wi-Fi to find your contacts. Yeah, that's the thing with the use of internet. And that will be all. Thank you. Cloud is naturally reliability and security should be the top priority in while using cloud, since it was prone to some features of it is not safe. So we should be careful in uploading files or changing documents. But clouds is a best tools that created as of now that can be convenient to those person who always used to like for example me, I'm working in accounting department and we have a lot of computation, and one example of the cloud is the Excel can configure, can calculate everything. We just click or with the formula, and that's the best thing in using the cloud computing. And that will be all. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.